Hi, everyone, and welcome to your new moon in Virgo reading. Okay, we're talking about new moon here, and new moons are all about new beginnings, new cycles, and planting new seeds and wishes for manifestation. So that is bringing in what is good for you, what is good for you moving forward. Okay, as always, I suggest you watch for your rising sign first. If you don't know your rising sign, please leave a comment below and I will give you instruction on how I can do that for you free of charge. Okay. But if you don't want to do that or you don't know your rising sign, then watch for your sun sign or your zodiac sign. All right. And then at the end of reading through whatever sign it is you're watching for, there will be timestamps. There's going to be a pick a card at the end. So go and check that out as well. There will be timestamps for that. But right in this moment, let's get into what is the Virgo energy that is coming in and around this new moon. So, Virgo's key phrase, I analyze. What does this mean and where is it going to show up in your life this new moon cycle? And how can you use it to your advantage? So, Virgo energy has a very function oriented energy to it. It is the organizer, the perfectionist, and the analyzer. It also has a very strong need for clarity, clear thinking, and being of service however needed. Virgo energy can also show itself as being true, reliable, and stable energy in unruly situations, with an ability to be able to ground down and shut out all distractions in order to properly assess it. It is definitely fair to say that the motivation for Virgo energy is all about what can be ignored or set aside so that what is important can be dealt with first. Now, I'm going to give you the shadow side too, just so you're aware. So, even though there's nothing wrong with being detail oriented and great at analysis, if you take these attributes to the extreme or into the shadow or negative, you may fall into the trap of pettiness, obsessiveness, and being overly critical of everyone and everything. So, it is good to just be aware of these things when moving forward in this energy. So now that we know what it is, the I analyze energy is, let's take a look at where it is showing up for you in each zodiac sign or rising sign. I'll see you there. Hi, everyone, and welcome to the second part of your new moon and Virgo reading. This is the pick a pile or the pick a card, okay? We have two different choices for you. This is Ocean Jasper, and this is Green Aventurine, okay? So pile 1, pile 2, Ocean Jasper for pile 1, Green Aventurine for pile 2, and because we have the fall equinox coming up, I'm using my Mabon deck, okay? So I'm also just going to get a couple of cards here for you as well. Let me just get one for pile 1. We have Maple Tree. Lovely. Okay, so maybe you want to go by that card. Let me get one for pile 2. And we have Cocoa. Maybe that is the card that you want to go by. Okay, so whether it's crystal, pile number, or the actual Mabon deck card, please choose a pile. If you want, you can go to both piles, right? I always say you can be an overachiever here because this is going to give you more information about maybe things that you can manifest for this new moon. If for whatever reason you're not happy or you feel that you're already good in the area of your life that you've just read about. So I'll see you in whatever pile you choose. Hi to those of you who chose pile 1, this Ocean Jasper moon, or this Maple Tree card. I'm just going to set this over to the side and I'm going to read it and pull it in after we do the reading just to see if it ties in. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't, okay? But let's get right into this reading for you, pile 1. So these are things, like I said, that you can do in addition to what you've already read for your rising or sun zodiac sign, okay? So let's get right into this, and maybe there might just be general advice or guidance for you as well, all right? So let's get right into this and see what we get. And I'm going to be doing tarot with it as well. So we have gift and lessons with the South Node, and I always pull this card with it too. Poison and medicine. In order to heal, we first must shed our pain and fear. Okay, I love that. And this card goes with it. Discernment. Yes, using your discernment, making good choices, you know, really looking at things. I kind of think of it as a hangman card, okay? I'm just going to set these aside. But let's just get the first few messages out here. So yes, go back and look at the 8th house and read about that. And how can you use that Virgo energy that's in and around with this new moon? Maybe you need to make a list, right? Maybe you need to get organized. So if it has anything to do with other people's money. Maybe you are a caretaker and you run the finances for someone in your family, or maybe the household finances, because that's other people's money as well, right? Not just yours. Maybe there's something there that you need to really start manifesting. You want to bring good things in, maybe better management. That could be a message for some of you, but you're going to use that Virgo energy to really analyze it. Think of a spreadsheet, right? Or a report where you get all of the data and now you're going to sit and look at it and really pay attention and manifest in what you see that may be missing, something that you could do better even, right? What else can I say about that? Yeah. I feel like that's the message for this. It's so funny because the South Node, it's gifts and lessons, yes, because those are things that we've learned in past lives, pile 1, where we're probably good at it. We come into this life and we're probably good at something. We don't really know why, or we find ourselves falling back on these patterns of really just foolishness or craziness, and we don't understand why we do it. That's also the South Node, right? The shadow side of it. So maybe that is the message here. There's something that you're doing when it comes to, I want to say, finances, and maybe other people's finances. As I said, it could be within your family. You could be helping elderly. It could be within your relationship. Maybe you've been dipping into the children's college fund and you know you shouldn't be, right? There's something that you need to bring in to change that behavior and figure out why. So go back and look at that 8th house. Something else there may resonate for you, but that's what just popped in. And using your discernment, right? Like not staying up here in the clouds, like really getting clear about it. I want to say with this card here, because it's lit up in the heart chakra as well, it is your heart, your emotions, your intuition working with your thoughts, okay? And your smarts, your clarity, okay? You have the two of them working together in tandem. So right there, we have one extra house for you to go look at, and it is the 8th house. Now, let's get into the rest of the cards. We have a win-win outcome is forecast. You may find that that ties back into here, or it will be its own message, okay? And I'm going to get a tarot with that, but it's full moon in Libra. So anything to do with one-to-one relationships at home, at work, with friends and groups, and wanting to find balance and peace and harmony in them. But again, here we are. There's something maybe that you need to look at, right? You really need to examine. You need to get out the magnifying glass, okay? And maybe there's a better way that you can be in any of these relationships. And you kind of know it, but you're just kind of unclear of the, how do I go about this? Look, 6 of Pentacles, kindness. I love that. Sometimes the cards just come out and they come out perfectly. Maybe there's something that if you really, take a good, long, hard Virgo energy to look at your relationships, there's a possibility for things to get better, a win-win outcome. And kindness is going to be the way that it's coming, because the 6 of Pentacles can also be when I am filling up my own cups, okay? When I am working and being diligent at what it is that I do, and I'm feeling good on that. And when I'm feeling good about the way I take action towards something, being the relationship here, everything is, I love to say this, thrusting on all cylinders. And you not only are being kind to yourself and you have enough for yourself, it's like spilling out of the cup. It starts to spill out onto the other people in your life, which is where I was going with that. But that's where this comes in. There's something, maybe go back and read about the 7th house, and maybe there's something there for you when it comes to relationships, okay? Even contracts, that will be for some of you, but go back and read about that, because there's going to be something there that you can really work on kindness towards by taking a good long look at the relationships in your life, okay? Now, let's get on to the next one. We have first quarter moon in Pisces, 12th house. Okay, lucky you guys. Honor your feelings. I like this. Let's get a tarot with that. See, that 12th house. Is there something that you feel drawn to do? It can be literally anything in your life. You know what? Maybe you want to, learn something new about something. I also want to say you may want to change up the way you do things, but you are afraid. You're hiding them. In Pisces, I always think of it like being hidden behind the dark moon or behind the veil. And maybe it's something you're really good at and you've been hiding it and you want to let it out. You just don't know how. You need to honor your feelings, okay? So take a good, hard, long look at that. Don't be too hard on yourself, and realize that being overcritical does not get you anywhere. You need to maybe let go of that so that you can bring in, manifest what would be good luck the Chariot, progress. But the Chariot is fast moving. For me, when the Chariot card comes out in my readings, it's always 99.9% of the time, I want to say you need to go after it and you need to do it now. There's no point in waiting. Waiting doesn't get you anywhere. It just prolongs it. And we're talking about bringing in those good things. So take that good, long, hard look at yourself, because I feel this is kind of an internal thing for you. All right. And really go out and just give it a try. Make a start. That's the main thing right now. But it's also 12th. So we have 8th, 7th, and 12th house that you can go back and look at. Now, let's get the last card here, which is patience. I feel like it's kind of here, right? Just get started. You know what? Be kind and patient. If it's about the relationships here, be kind and patient with yourself. If you need to work on taking care of other people's money in some way, be kind and patient with yourself, okay? Using your discernment. Let's get a tarot with that too. I'm liking these messages for you, pile one. I think there's some good things that can happen. You know, maybe this is manifesting a whole new relationship into your life as well, right? It can be different. Okay, we have Knight of Wands. I never like to look at it as immaturity, other than you might want to say being impatient is being a little bit immature, possibly. We could go with that. But I want to say the patience with the Knight of Wands. See, that Knight of Wands is very energetic and passionate and likes to take inspired action. So again, slow and steady here, I feel, is an overall message. Using your discernment, having patience, being kind to yourself, realizing you can manifest plant those seeds. What is it you need to bring in to help you in these different areas, okay? But yeah, have the passion, have the drive, have the want. Just, it's contradictory. Just maybe slow and steady. Have patience with it. Okay, let's get another card here just for one more house, because you never know. Some of these things may resonate with you and others may not. That's why I do these last two pick-a-piles or pick-a-cards at the end, because you know what? It really, it just gives you something else maybe to look at. And if you already have one of these houses, you've already read about it, I always like to say that spirit doubling down and saying, yeah, you need to work in this area. So if you've already had the 8th house, go back and really analyze that 8th house. Read about it and figure out, okay, this is what they're trying to get me to focus on this. Pisces, I also call this a double down when another card comes out from the same, for the same sign. Look at this. Follow your dreams. Honor your feelings. Okay? There's no time like the present. And also with honor your feelings, it's believing in your dreams and believing that you're good enough. So let's manifest that energy in. How can you work around that? Now, I'm also going to, before we pull the Maple card, and I have one last oracle to pull, I want to just do some tarot for overall confirmation of what's already down, maybe further advice and guidance. Seven of Wands. I feel that is so important here. Don't let other people with the Seven of Wands try to beat you down, okay? Try to tell you, no, you're not good at that. No, you'll never succeed in that. What people don't follow their dreams. You do what you have to do to survive. There's no dream following, whatever those messages might be. I also like to read here, having the courage, being willing to take on the challenge, okay? That Seven of Wands energy is willing to stand up and shout from the rooftops if they need to. So take on that energy. Let's get another. Four of Cups. If, for whatever reason, you are refusing help, This would be a message from Spirit saying don't refuse the help, okay? Refusing help gets you nowhere, you know? I guess, I mean, given the situation. But again, if you're listening to this, the advice is if someone's offering you a cup, if someone's offering you their help in any of these areas to help you make change for the better, to bring in what's serving your highest good, then really, I'm going to say strongly consider, with the Virgo energy here again, maybe you might have to do a little analysis on it. Maybe you might have to think about it. Maybe you might need to take a day or so or however long to figure out, is this good for me and in what way, and how can I use that, right? To your advantage. That's what this is all about. Using that Virgo energy from this new moon to help you bring things to your advantage. So there's a couple messages in that. Let's get one more. The Ace of Cups. I love this. Aces tend to be new beginnings, right? So maybe for some of you, I said it could be a new relationship, possibly with the Ace of Cups. It could just be finally starting to do what you enjoy doing, allowing your creativity and your dreams and your feelings to help manifest the life you want. It can also be just bringing joy in by working on any of these things, okay? So again, I love that message for you. Now, let's look at the Maven card here. We have, there is a challenge coming that is so big it will shift all that it. There is a change. Did I say challenge? I'm sorry. There is a change coming that is so big it will shift all that exists. And that would be in your life, okay? You know, the maple tree, it grows new leaves every year and then it sheds them, right? So that the next year it can, you know, have new leaves again. Think of it like that. It gets rid of the old so that the new can come in. And I feel like that's what they're saying. So somewhere in here for you, whether it's one of these things or it could be a bit of all of them, the change is going to be quite astounding. Is Spirit's message, okay? The change is going to be quite astounding. The other thing that we can say, because it does have maple tree, we think of fall because it is showing fall colors here. Maybe this change is going to start to manifest for you in the fall. So just keep that in mind. Now let's get one last little card here before I go. So again, remember we have 8th, 7th, and 12th houses, and they doubled down on that 12th. So really, whoops, little fuzzies here from my finger flying. I choose to nourish myself and enrich my life. Didn't we say kindness? And I talked about being kind to yourself. Enriching your life is doing and bringing in those things that do just that, enrich your life, that are good for you, are good in the long run. Okay, letting go, shedding leaves of what isn't. But you do that in the full moon. So come back for the full moon reading so that you can do that, right? But I hope that this helped. I hope that there's something in here for you that you can do along with or in addition to what you've already read for your rising or zodiac sun sign. Thank you, Pile 1. I'll see you the next time. Hi to those of you who chose Pile 2, this green aventurine moon I'll put over here, or this, and you guys laugh at me if you want, I never can say this, cacao is the way it is pronounced properly. I always say cacao because I want to say cocoa in my mind, right? But I'm going to set this card aside, cacao, and we're going to read it at the end. Sometimes you'll find that it actually has something to do with the reading, or it could just be an additional message. But let's get right into this. This is new moon. You're trying to manifest in things that are good for you, right? You're using that Virgo energy surrounding that moon, being the analyzer, the organizer, having clarity, all of those things. So we're actually looking at this as in what you've already read for your rising or zodiac sun sign. And now you can do this, maybe some of the places it shows you in here in your life. You can do work on that for manifestation, or in addition to, okay, in place of or in addition to. I say there's always a space for overachievers. Let's start. We have Mercury. I like that. We have Aries, and I like to read this, which is, in order to be approached by others, you first must encounter your anger. Oh, well, I see that. Okay. And patience. Okay. I always like to kind of read these three cards together first. So here's what I want to say. Number one, Mercury is the ruler of the third house. So go back and look at the third house. It has to do, you can go back and read about it, but basically your extended family, siblings, aunts, uncles, cousins, grandparents. It could be the area, your neighbors, the community that you live in, okay? So where do you need to analyze something there? Where do you need to take a good, fair, clear, hard look at that area in your life? And how can you do better? What can you manifest in to make that better? So that's a house for you right there. That's one area, the third. Also with Aries, the first house, which is all about me, myself, and I, how you see yourself, how you, feel you look, how you feel others see you, all of that sort of thing. So maybe could there be some work done there if you take a good hard long look at yourself? With Virgo, it's all about, I always say, think of spreadsheet, think of getting pages of data and you're analyzing them, right? That's what the Virgo energy is. It's wanting to do better. Maybe even here, I'm going to say just what's coming in with me, myself, and I, and being its Virgo energy. Maybe there's a change you need to make when it comes to your health and wellness, okay? Your health and well-being. So you might want to look at that. It could be how you communicate with maybe your neighbors, the neighborhood. Maybe you want to start communicating more with the neighborhood or your people around you, or how you do it with your family. So those might be some individual messages. But I also have to look at, because Mercury is the mind, and we're going to call that your thoughts, your words, how you speak to yourself. Because with Aries here, it would be, how do I speak to myself? And maybe with this, where it said, in order to be approached by others, you first must encounter your anger. Do you have a self-dialogue that is negative? And because of that, you just kind of go around a little bit angry all the time, or with a chip on your shoulder, okay? This is Spirit saying, we need you to just have patience with yourself, okay? Have patience, go in and look, take a good hard long look at the first house, and take a good long hard look at that third house, and try to leave the anger behind. Try to change, this is Mercury, the way you think, the way you speak to yourself, okay? And possibly others, but have patience. This is not going to change overnight, pile two, okay? We have to work on things, and sometimes that can take a little bit of time, and there's nothing wrong with that, okay? Just have patience with yourself. I want to say be kind and loving to yourself too, because if you have some negative self-talk that's causing anger here, that isn't where anyone wants to be. Okay, but it is something that you can change, you can manifest in, you can ask the universe, spirit, to come in and help you with these things. That's what planting seeds is all about, to bring better or good into your life, okay? And releasing this stuff that doesn't work for you. But we do that on full moons. So come back to the full moon reading, okay, every month, because there's always, each moon has a different energy around it. This time it's all about getting out, I'm going to say, the magnifying glass, and taking a good hard long look at things and figuring out, where can I make this better? Where could I even perfect it, right? Just don't be too critical with yourself, because the Virgo energy can bring that. I just have to say it. Let's get into the rest of the cards. They may tie in here. They could be their own messages. Oh, here we go. Don't let pride get in your way. So for some of you, it definitely has to do with back here, okay? But this is Leo, so fifth house. This can have to do with your children. This could be something to do with your hobbies, your sports. Maybe you're dating, your passionate love affairs. It's not long-term relationships. It's kind of the dating, the, you know, the, yeah, it could just be a fling, right? Whatever it is. But don't let pride get in your way. But I'm pulling tarot with these ones here. So let's get a tarot card to go with that pile too. Is there something, you know, I'm just going to say it can even do with sports and stuff like that. Like, go read about the fifth house. But when it comes to activities and entertainment, you know, is there, or dating, is there maybe someone who's asking you to go do stuff like that? And you're like, no, you're not good enough for me, or I wouldn't be caught dead doing that, or whatever. You kind of get my drift, right? And this is spirit saying, well, you know what? You may want to pull the magnifying glass out on this one, because you may find that there's actually something good in this for you, okay? King of Wands, passion. Well, there we go. For some of you, this could be about the passionate love affair or the dating, right? I'll call it the dating game. But they want you to take on that King of Wands energy, which is all, you know, inspired and passionate and having vision for things, right? Seeing things big picture. And the Virgo energy will help you see it in that way, because they love to look at everything and analyze everything. But the main message here is, you know what? Don't let pride get in your way, whether it's back in this part here and having the patience and dealing with whatever this could be, or if it's just about some of this fifth house energy, right? That's the other part of your life where it could be affecting. But so right now we have third, first, and fifth. Okay. Oh, I like that. All the odds so far. First, third, and fifth. Let's get into the next one. We have step up and lead, new moon in Capricorn. Okay. And remember, you're trying to manifest the things in these areas that are helpful and good for you. Letting go of the old so that you can bring that new energy in that's for your highest good and for the best for you in your life, right? So let's see here. I didn't say it. This is the 10th house. This is all about your career, I'm going to say. How people see you, how you want to be seen in the world, how people see you in the world. You know, I think of it more as career driven, like trying to climb that ladder, right? Maybe for some of you, they're saying you need to manifest a new position in this. If you're working, right? You need to step up and lead. It is your time now to start doing that. So really analyze in your career, we'll say even your job, okay? What have you? I don't want to leave anyone out because, and you could volunteer even. You might need to step up there and be the team leader of the volunteer team, however that works in your life. It could just be being the leader in your own life too. But it's time to step up and take the lead. Go back and read about the 10th house, okay? Where there can you take a good, long, hard look at things and maybe make a difference? I shuffled, split, release. What can you release and let go of? This is what we're talking about. Release is full moon for me. And let go of the old, let it die off so that you can bring in and grow the new, okay? So maybe for you, this is really a big transformation because this is Scorpio, all right? Scorpio's all about transformation, death and rebirth, okay? So something needs to die off here when it comes to this 10th house, and you need to figure out what the new is that needs to come in so you can let go of that old. Ooh, I love that message for you. Let's look at the next card, Enchanted Moonlight. Oh, I like that. When I think of enchanted, I think of magic, you know, right? You know, the enchanted forest where the mystical and the magical happens and the fairies and the gnomes and the elves are there. That's what I think of with enchanted forest. And maybe for you, just the message in all of this is find the joy in this. Believe in the magic of what can happen in your life if you're willing to put in that little bit of work and plant some seeds. Okay, but let's get a tarot with it too. I mean, that just makes me smile, right? I don't know. It's like you're the princess and the knight has rescued you and you're now going back to the castle and you're riding through the enchanted forest and everything feels wonderful and the birds are singing. I went a little far with that, but I guess it's just to kind of give you an idea of what I'm talking about. Nine of Pentacles, that is creating your own abundance. That is you planting one single seed and all of a sudden it starts snowballing or growing and spreading. Think of how flowers, scatter the seeds. And the next thing you know, you've got 9 pentacles. 10 is the end. Like, that's having everything you want. And we are talking about getting what it is that you want in your life to make things better. So whether you think of these as individual messages or you're able to tie them together, that is totally you, because there's different people watching this, right? But I'm going to get one more card here. So like I said, we have 1st, 3rd, 5th, and 10th. If pile 2, you've already read about one of those piles for your rising or zodiac sun sign, and you're hearing it here again, that's probably Spirit saying they're doubling down, I like to call it. You need to go back and really look, because there's an area in there that maybe you're overlooking or not. It didn't click with you as you read it, okay? So keep that in mind. Taurus, 2nd house. Oh, they are just giving you tons here. Okay, pile 2. This is boost self-worth and finances. Well, we are talking about career, step up and lead, advancement. That usually would come with maybe a pay raise or other perks in some way. But the Taurus is just about being practical. I love it has practicalities here, right? It's about money. You can go back and look at that 2nd house because it's how you earn your money, how you spend your money, how you feel about your money. Okay, so maybe you need to really analyze that and come up with a new plan. Maybe it is trying to get a better position in your career, in your job. Okay, not letting pride get in your way to keep you from doing that. So we also have that card for you. So now we're at 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 5th, and 10th. I feel like I'm giving you like an assignment here, pile 2. But some of you need one of those piles, okay? Like, sorry, that didn't really make sense. There's different people watching this. So maybe for some of you, you need to go back and look at pile 5, right? It's going to be what resonates with you when you read it. But also if it's repeating, then you really need to look at that house. I'm going to get some more advice and guidance here. 7 of Swords. Oh, I love that. Do you know what I want to say? I looked here and then I looked there automatically and I went, don't be afraid to take the chance. Don't be afraid to change things up if it is about career, job, money, how you earn it, okay? Because there's nothing that can be stolen, I want to say, from you here, meaning from Spirit. The only thing that's going to come out of all this is going to be positivity for you, right? There's nothing here that can be stolen. Look, the crow has that ring. The crow's hanging on to the big ruby ring there, okay? Nothing can be stolen. It's worth taking the chance. Now, again, you have to do what feels best for you here, okay? But this is just advice, guidance if you are in that situation. 9 of Pentacles out again. Look. This is prosperity for you. Okay? This is working hard, planting those seeds. I love its pentacles. See, it's in a bush here, right? I don't see it so much here, but like all of a sudden there's like bush, there's pentacles everywhere covering the bush, right? There's meant to be good things for you. It's meant to be successful. And that can even go back to this by figuring out where you need to communicate better, where you need to self-talk better. It's only going to bring these good things into your life. The Page of Cups. Oh, I love the pages because they're so innocent and they believe in everything, okay? And with cups, it's all about possibility, being creative. I love here magic, love, right? It's believing in all of that, believing that there's new creative opportunities for you out there. Again, could come in like we're talking about hobbies and stuff like that even. There's potential for that. They believe there's potential for that. They want you to take on that energy. Intuitive messages even could be coming into you saying, you know, you really should get on that again. You should try that again. Don't ignore it, okay? Be curious. Get out there. Now, before I do the last oracle card, I'm bringing in the, I forgot how to say it already. Cacao? Okay, I think so. You are loved. You are held, and you already are everything you seek. It's believing in yourself. It is believing in yourself. So, you know what? It just reminds me, right? Like believe in yourself, comfort yourself, nurture yourself. Like, you know, when you're drinking on a cold day, you remember when you were a kid and you were out, I don't know, I used to go out snowmobiling and ice skating and doing all of those things, or just being outside because I loved winter, right? And you come in and you have a cup of hot chocolate and it was really special if there were marshmallows in the house. It made you, it's like comfort food. It made you feel so good. That's the energy they want you to have when you're dealing in all this. Like, it should feel good. It should feel comfortable. It should feel right. And you should believe in yourself. Okay, pile 2. Let's get one last card before we go. I feel like you've got quite a few different piles you can go back and read about. So definitely do that. There's timestamps for them. I will persist. My will is strong. Love it. Just have patience, okay? I want to say be practical, have patience, you know. Don't let your pride get in the way. You are meant to do this in whatever area or any of the other areas that we spoke about. That's why this Virgo energy is important, this moon, because it really helps you to analyze things. So think of that when you're attacking these different areas in your life, pile 2. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you the next time.